Hey, what's going on everyone? Cody Orville here, and in today's video I'm going to answer a viewer's question. Now, I've answered a similar question to this before in a previous video. It was a video I made about how to ship internationally from Australia to other places around the world. So this video will be based for Australian eBay sellers only. But the question was from Erica, and she asked, and essentially the question is asking how I ship my items step by step internationally to people overseas. Because the process is quite different to like the normal way you'd print off just an eBay label and ship it out. Because internationally you can't really do that. You have to include your own shipping information and things like that. But in this video, I'm just going to walk through the process of how I ship up to date right now, how I ship my items out internationally. The previous video I did make is a little bit dated because they've updated the shipping system at Australia Post right now. So this video will be more up to date, and hopefully I'll answer your question and show you how I do things. So saying all that, I'm going to show you guys what's happening right now. So here I've got my box of items that I'm ready to ship out, and I'll just quickly grab an international one that I've prepared. As you can see, I've got the item shipped out and ready to go like this. Now I'm covering up the buyer's address and stuff because I don't want them getting strange visits from people. All I do is type the label up on my Word document, print it out, and then stick it on there. I used to just handwrite the label on a sticky label, but that just seemed to take too much time. And then all I do is put my address on the back as well. And then I go to Australia Post and I get this other information that I'll stick on here. So I'm going to go to Australia Post real quickly and get that sheet, and then I'll show you guys what's up after that.
Okay, I'm back, so I'm going to continue with this video. I just had to go post out those items quickly because the post office was closing. So I got that done, and now it's actually a bit later on in the night, and I'm just going to continue to finish this video off and answer this question. So yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to show you what it looks like when I stick that Australia Post label on the parcel. So I've actually taken a quick video of the documentation you get from Australia Post when you have to send stuff off internationally. And this is what you get. It's just a basic 3-piece sheet of paper, and it's different sheets to document a copy of each of what you handwrite, if that makes sense. So the original copy you handwrite is stuck on to the parcel itself. The one underneath that is a document that Australia Post keeps, and the one underneath that is for what you keep. So it becomes really easy to document your tracking information for when you send the item off. Then the tracking information is automatically referred to the item or what the item's description is. So it's really easy, because I remember when I used to post the items out a week earlier or whenever before they changed this system, they just had to the USA and the tracking number, and I had like multiple receipts that said USA, and then I had all these different tracking numbers on there, and I wasn't able to actually match that with what items sold. And then I was really bad at documenting the tracking information, and I wasn't able to upload that stuff. So that was a really bad fault on my behalf, but this new system is in a way really good with that. So if the customer wants to know the tracking number, which you should obviously, from my stupid experience, you should have uploaded that in the first place. But from now on, it just makes that a lot more easier. So as you can see here, it has the from sender. So you just put your information in there, your name, your company name, your address, the city, state, postcode, and your country, and then the receiver who it is going to, their name, and their address, and etc. And then in the green bit, the customs declaration, I just tick the box that says gift, and then the full description of goods, all I write is what it basically is. For example, these shoes right here, you just say Nike Air Plus shoes, or something like that. And if you're going to ship out Nerf guns, don't ever say gun on the description, because I've made that mistake before in the past. Just say toy or something like that, because they get super suspicious, and when you send something like that to China, they get a bit suspicious and think that you're illegally importing some weapons, and yeah, you get a return. So just make sure that you're a bit careful on that side of things. But other than that, that's all you have to do is fill out this form. Very simple, and that's the only time-consuming part of this process, is that you get these forms from the actual Ozpost shop itself. And yes, you may have to stay in line to get these forms, or maybe if you build a relationship with the person at the desk, So they might give you multiple forms ahead of time so you can fill them out at home or something like that if that's easier for you. Just, request for a few more if you're going to be selling a lot of international sales. But these should last me for the next couple of days. And then when I go back in there again, I'll ask for a bit more extra. And it just saves a little bit of time. So you don't have to sit there in Australia Post and actually handwrite all this stuff out. You can just do it at home. And also a really good tip I'd recommend as well to save some more extra time is don't handwrite the addresses, especially if you get something from China. Most of that stuff is in Chinese symbols and stuff, and you got to write it out like fully and be fully descriptive. So whenever you get their address from the sale, just copy and paste that onto a Word document. Make sure it's pretty big size. You saw on my parcel before, and just print it out. And then all I do is sticky tape it on top. You can probably get nice fancy labels cohesive labels to stick on there. But that's what I do as of late, and it just saves a bit more time that way. But yeah, you can't actually print off labels like you can with domestic sales in Australia and just print them out and stick them on there. You actually have to go through this process of filling out a customs form, and that's just the way it goes. They're the rules, you got to follow them, and just do that. And I know it's a little bit time consuming in a way compared to just printing out the label, whacking it on the parcel, and shipping it out prepaid, easy, done. But this way, is the way you have to do it. So the way I pay as well is I actually just pay for it on the spot. I don't think you can get billed at monthly or something. I haven't really looked into that. I just pay for it right there on the spot, and that's it. I'm going over to Australia Post because I want to show you guys the exact shipping option that I'm currently using as of right now to ship my items out internationally. So let's go to Australia Post, and we'll go over here to calculate postage and delivery times. Now I'm going to give you an example because the most common country that purchases from me is the United States. First choose overseas, and let's just type in the postcode, and let's choose, it's probably easier just to type United States. Alright, so we'll select that and we'll go. Now in this screencast right here, I'm going to be showing you what prices it's going to cost to ship out the item. And I want to show you the exact option I use. So I used to use Economy Air. Now it used to be called Air Mail, and they've just slightly actually changed this Australia Post. Like about a week ago, they changed all the shipping options. So I used to use air shipping or whatever it was called, and that had tracking, but once it left Australia, it was no longer tracked. And I had a really bad situation a couple of months ago where I'd sold an item to someone in the United States. I posted it out with that real cheaper option of airmail, and they said they never got the item. And for me, I had no evidence or I had no way of proving that the item had reached the customer because the tracking number terminated once it left Australia. So what I now use is standard shipping. So this includes tracking, which is a really big tick. And from my past experiences, you need tracking on your items if you're going to send it internationally, because any buyer can be a scammer and like act as a scammer and say they haven't received it, even though they have. And they can say they haven't received it and scam you for your money, which is, a worst case scenario, but people out there do it. So just be aware of that. So from now on, I'm using tracking, and this tracks from once it leaves my door to once it gets to the customer's door. And also, with most of the items, like if it's something more expensive, like let's say if I'm selling a $100 plus item, I'll offer signature on delivery as well on top of that. And it's only $5 for signature on delivery. So it's guaranteed that it's not going to get stolen and it's not going to get lost during transit. So this is the option I use for all my items. The prices vary depending on how much the item weighs. So if it's under 500 grams, it's going to cost about 23 bucks plus the $5 for signature. But you can have signature if you want to, but personally I think it's a really good idea. So this is what I'm sticking with, and this is how I post my items internationally. So if it's over, or if it's up to 1 kilo and over 500 grams, it's going to cost $41, and so on for the rest. Now I want to show you how I sync this specific shipping option with the eBay item that I'm selling. So let's head over to eBay, and I'll show you how to set that up so then you don't lose out on any money if the shipping cost is different to what it actually costs to ship it out. And just for example's sake, I'll just quickly click revise the listing just to show you what it looks like when you're setting up the postage for a specific item. Alright, so let's scroll down to shipping. Alright, so here we go. International postage. Now, you want to create your own international postage option, and you want to charge the actual cost, and I select worldwide. And personally, if you have some issues with other countries or you don't like shipping to a specific location in the world, you can select not to ship to that country if you choose to. But for me, I just ship worldwide. I don't really care. This is what I choose. I used to choose airmail. So this was the tracking that once left Australia, it was no longer tracked, and that was it. And it's cheap, but it's cheap for a reason. So I offer this one right here, which is AusPost registered post international parcel, and this is standard right here. This is what this is. Having a look at this again, for me personally, it's a really good choice. So we'll go back over to eBay, and I use registered post international, and that's basically how I set it up on eBay on the listing. It's quite simple. Also, I should mention, you want to make sure that if you're going to ship out an item, for example, I've got some shoes here. Say if I'm listing these, as soon as I list them, I want to weigh them and make sure that I get the correct weight. It's going to be estimated because you haven't got the bag there as well weighted. Or if you package it all up and get it ready to ship out and then just weigh it like that. But it becomes really hard to pick up which item you sold because you can't really see it. This weighs about 800 grams. So what I'll do is just say it is about a kilo. And that works fine for me because remember, 500 grams to a kilogram, it's going to cost that flat rate cost of whatever it was, 41 or whatever. And then just, punch in some estimated dimensions for the length, width, and height of the parcel. And that's about all you have to do. And this is just Australia postage stuff. But international, that's what I do. Very simple. And once you get that down, it should be a breeze and you shouldn't have any problems. But just remember, everyone, it's super simple to ship internationally, and it is something that you really have to get onto because it's a huge market out there. So many people are buying online these days, and if you just open up the possibility of even more customers by selling worldwide instead of just Australia or wherever you're situated, it's just going to help you make so much more money selling on eBay or wherever you're selling. So I suggest shipping internationally if you're not doing it already. It's a really good way to get more money rolling in. So just have that in mind. And also, don't be scared because there's no need to be scared. I know I was scared when I first started shipping internationally. But, it's just all ideas that we put in our heads before we actually give it a chance of actually trying it and seeing what it's like. But try not to have these preconceived ideas before you actually try something, because it may turn out to be something really beneficial. So don't be scared of it. There's nothing to be scared about international postage. You live and you learn some, but it is a really good way to make some extra money on eBay. And also, I just want to thank you, Erica, for the message that you sent me. I was so surprised with the length of it. It was just an awesome, lengthy message, and it just made me feel so good to be able to help you out. And I hope you got some value from this video. And I hope any other Australia reseller that didn't know anything about international postage or whatever actually learned something from this video too. I do appreciate you guys when you personally send me Facebook messages and whatever type of message behind the scenes asking for help and things like that, and just giving me positive feedback and comments and things. It just makes me feel so much more better, and I really appreciate every one of you for watching these videos. And also, this leads on to another point. I'm at 499 subscribers right now. Remember, I had a contest that I was going to run as soon as I hit 500 subscribers. I'm one subscriber away from a contest. So, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. And once I get over 500 subscribers, I'll be doing a giveaway. So, thanks again for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.